Hello. Welcome back to Surrendered. I'm excited once again. The Lord is good. This is year 2022. We began this video on the remedy for your complaining because remember I told you in life it's easier to complain than to be grateful. Evidently, when you look at life around you, there will always be that one thing that makes you feel, if only this was like this, and you have that situation that it could have been better. And every time when you say it could have been better, just always remember, it could have been better, but you're the best because you're living in the moment where you can talk to your God about it. Being grateful is such a nice thing. You might be looking at me and I'm all smiles. It's true. Sometimes I have to tell myself there is something that I can be grateful to God for. That does not minimize the issues which are real to me. But by whining, by just being sad every now and then, it doesn't sort out my issues. So even with your thorns, the ones that you may have crossed over to this year with, you have something to thank God for. You can look around and you won't miss a thing. When you start thanking God for the small things that are in your life, then you open the door for God to start working in your life. I have actually observed that life's treasures, those nice things, they are found in very small prints, the footprints in our lives. But because they're so tiny and we are always looking for the spectacular, we don't get to see. We don't get to see them. This year, I have decided I'm going to be grateful no matter what I face, because God on your side, the things that are bothering you, they are not a limitation to your God. I'd like to begin with, what is it that you're focusing on? Are you focusing on majorly what you lost alone? Because what you lost is irrecoverable. Am I minimizing it? No. Some losses, they are so big that it will take you quite a while to just recover. But in the midst of your loss, something was left. Focus on what was left. When you're focusing on what was left, it means you're magnifying on a small thing that is positive in your life. And remember, we always say what you magnify becomes bigger. What you focus on becomes bigger. Maybe you would have wished to have maybe a very beautiful meal every day, like you plan your family, and you're hoping that your family will not just be moving from hand to mouth. If you have something on the table, you need to remember somebody who lives in a ghetto and they have nothing absolutely to eat. Thank God for the food on the table. Thank God for the water. There are people who don't have water. And then this is very critical. I do it every now and then because my mind has a habit of going to the negatives, left, right, and center. You've heard of a Bible verse that says that you wear the helmet of salvation. It is because your life moves to the strongest direction of your thoughts. Every negative thought you're fighting right now, it is all here. This is where the battleground is. And sometimes I can imagine you feel like there are voices, there are things that are stressing you, depressing you, crashing you down. They're just such mountainous things. Call a meeting with yourself. What do I mean? I think each one of us to a level, we have had a moment of calling yourself to a meeting, talking to yourself. It's called loud thinking sometimes. I would like to call it that. You think loudly and you tell yourself, hey, stop going to that direction. There is a man in the Bible called David. He used to call a meeting for himself and he would tell his soul, my soul, why are you downcast? Put your hope in God. I want to tell you, moments come when you look at the things you're focusing on and you realize they are not important and they're just taking you down lower and lower and lower. They're just making your path to life narrow, more narrow every now and then. Concentrate on what you can work with. Tell yourself, when I go to this direction, I get so stressed up. When I open my mouth and I complain, things just become worse. When I just think nothing is working out right, actually, nothing will work out right for yourself. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself this year. By the way, sometimes the biggest enemy to your solution is not even your enemy. You are the enemy because you listen to your defeat. You tell yourself, I'm defeated. I can't make it. Nothing is ever going to work out. I was born poor. I will die poor. My family will never made it. I've never seen anybody who made it anywhere. And you tell yourself all those sad stories. There was a time I did a devotion and I called it, what are the stories that you tell yourself every day? Because, I used to tell myself, oh, I am sad. I mean, I would have to be a millionaire. I would have to work for 50 years. If I have to really get to this vision that I have, who gives me permission even to dream like that? When I look at my family, no one made it. When I look at the direction of maybe my siblings, no one reached the level that I'm dreaming I can reach there. And the stories that you give yourself, they determine who you become. Stop telling yourself sad stories. Tell yourself good stories about yourself. Tell yourself that God has created you with a beautiful plan for you. Tell yourself that you're not ugly. Tell yourself you're not hopeless. Tell yourself that you will get married if you're single and you've crossed over single. One of the prayers that I had from one of my family members as he prayed, it sounded so funny as he prayed, because my son said, like, some crossed over to year 2022 to the land of the dead. And, it just sounded like a light thing. But there are people who crossed over dead, but you're not. So tell yourself that as long as I am alive, I can make decisions that can affect my life positively. I once had a preacher say, and it is true, you are equal to the decisions you make in your life. What are the decisions you're making is you have that meeting with yourself. Are you having the meeting of, oh, now I will die in the next few years. If life continues like this, I am dead. If just life continues the way it is going, I will not have food. Just wake up and look for that one reason and tell it to yourself. That's a meeting. I don't know what you call it in your language, but in my language, I call it moshemanio. The stories that you tell yourself, they matter. Stop telling yourself sad stories. The remedy for your complaining is gratitude. And what you confess, it becomes. But it just doesn't go with confessing. You have to act what you're confessing. I am reminded that the children of Israel, remember they were in that desert for 40 years? I always get amused to realize when I read in the Bible that it was an 11-day journey. Just imagine that even myself and yourself, sometimes we make our journey so long, so miserable, so painful, because we have nothing to thank God for. When you surrender your relationships to God, when you surrender your life to God, God is for you. And just keep on remembering that whenever you have something to be grateful for, it will open a door for your mind to be at peace. And when your mind is at peace, you're able to see things clearly. Thank you for watching this video till the last of it. Thank you for sharing it. And I just want to tell you once again, the things that bothered you, the things that perturbed you last year, how did you manage? If you have something that really, if you have that issue that really bothered you and you managed, and this year you're crossing over with a positive, mind like me, just share it right here. Encourage a sister, encourage a brother outside there. Tell them life is good. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you, and may God bless you very much. Just keep on remembering, when you surrender just keep on remembering, in order for you to go, just keep on remembering, in order for you to walk light and right in the view of the things that you're going through, surrender your life to God. And for now, it's a bye-bye. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's have a great year together. God bless you.